911. Call 911.
Yes, it is time. It's that time of year. Welcome back, everyone. Got a little treat for the viewers of this channel. Gonna go ahead and just steal ideas here. Quick preview into the nominees this year. Male and female skier of the year. But before we cover that, I want to go over two quick things. First of all, requesting a rematch from Slush. This was perhaps the most loosely called game of Slush that I have ever seen. I don't think it would change the results too much, but regardless, both Sam and Matei were skiing like shit. I don't think it captured it on camera, but I was actually up in Aspen this weekend and I couldn't see anything. The fact that Sam is out here with no goggles and it's snowing kind of tells a story. I think the odds were not stacked in his favor. I'd love to see a full power Sam, full power Matei matchup in the future here. This just ain't it, man. Next up, I had to watch this. Gotta admit, felt a little bit threatened here. Gary Rogers covering skiing a little bit, having Burke on his show. Needless to say, I don't really feel threatened anymore. All things considered here, I don't think this was a good matchup, having Gary, very much so a skateboarder, talking to Burke, very much so a skier. Dude grew up in Winter Park. Not throwing any shade, I think Burke is an awesome skier, but whoever organized this event, I don't know if it was one person, multiple people, kind of struck out here. Looking at the list of invited athletes here, there's not a lot of better choices than Burke to throw on a show with Gary Rogers, but two people that stand out to me, TBL would have been a much better choice, and then also Henrik, who I know has a history of skateboarding and is also very much so a name that grabs attention. I think those both would have been better matchups here. All right, let's not waste any more time. Get into the good stuff. Get into this dirty. This is not a everyone gets a trophy type situation here. Let's go over our tiers real quick. I've got skier of the year worthy. Second of all, where's my T-Fits?
Where's my mosh pit?
Newschoolers has not officially dropped the nominees as of the time that I'm recording this video, but the list that I got, T-Fits ain't on it, man. Tucker Fitzsimmons is not getting any appreciation anywhere in the Newschoolers Trick of the Year, Skier of the Year, Breakthrough Skier of the Year, even though he's not really a breakthrough skier. This is unacceptable behavior from Newschoolers. Who the hell is running things back there? I demand a list of names, I demand accountability, and I demand at least a public hearing. Next up, Ferdy. I think my first episode of this, I made a prediction that Ferdy would be our skiddy this year. Doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Ferdy's too busy coming up with new belt colorways and shipping out capiche orders from Europe to actually film a part, contribute content to this overall scheme of the content-hungry beast of the internet. Ferdy's just going in, nope. Sorry, brother. There's some content that Ferdy's leaking and we're not seeing. I don't know where this shit's going, but whatever vault this is in, there's a video in there somewhere. I think it's coming. Holy shit, I am so hype beast right now. Okay, next up. I maybe gave the wrong impression overall. I'm not an Alex Hall fan. I like the Magma crew, but if I had to do a little separate tier list of the three, Alex would probably be at the bottom.
Where is this, SpongeBob?
Rock bottom.
Alex here goes right into predictable. I think we all know he's skiddy worthy, but at the same time, I did the math here. Magma 1, Magma 2 dropped. Alex Hall won Skier of the Year. I think we're painting a pretty clear picture. Things that are going for Alex here, he can do the pullback tricks. I think the FIS judges have a name for them now. Someone wants to drop that. I'd love to work that into my lexicon here. Speaking of FIS, he's one of the dudes on this list that is actually on the circuit, and thus far he's been doing pretty damn well. Trick of the Year nomination as well. Notes I took after watching Magma a couple more times. 9 minutes in, we get this angle back swap that I really did fuck with. Right here, we get this lip on, back two out, switch lip on, back two out, I think it was. Huge rail, by the way. But look at that. Dude, I watched this clip like 15 times. I fucking slow-moed it and everything. It may or may not be for Steez, but my goodness, if there is a case for possibly forcing Steez, I think this is it right here. Not to mention the early back swap also came with an early off right there. Perhaps his biggest offense of the year, though, to me, is that he did not bring one of these nice spider water wicking shirts for Hunter to wear. My guy is soaked out here, dude, and you look dry. So like I said, Mr. Alexander Hall goes right into predictable. I don't think that is the worst category here, but actually, yeah, I'm feeling moody today. Let's drop it down. Mr. Alexander Hall goes right in our sub-average category. Next up here, we have Mr. Colby Stevenson. Also has a Trick of the Year nomination. I don't know what that one is doing on the Trick of the Year list for all of the backcountry tricks that were done this year. I think that one is perhaps one of the most B to B minus tricks that we got this year, especially from Colby. It wasn't even his best trick. And I think the thing about Colby is a lot of the things he did this year aren't necessarily like tricks. They're more backcountry lines like we see in the Land of the Giants, or him absolutely ripping in Crescendo. I think it's a pretty well-known fact that Colby is also a monster in the park. Here he is with, what is this, like a Tweak Japan 16, I think it was. Am I gonna count this really? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Here he is up at PC, ripping the rails. You can see the dude has it. But I think my biggest complaint with Colby is that, someone please correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see a single street clip from the guy all year. For that reason, Colby is going into our fear of pavement category. I think if Colby had a couple of street clips in his repertoire this year, he would be in the skitty conversation, absolutely. Dude is ripping the backcountry pretty much harder than anyone else other than our friend up in Revy. Speaking of which, I think we can throw our brother right into the same category at the same time. Both of them skiing on similar levels this year. I think Sammy takes the cake a little bit in terms of backcountry, just because the dude is putting out a lot of fucking content. I take that back. They both kind of put out 2 full feature-length parts. Hard to tell. I think they belong together. Next up on my list, we have Hunter Hess. Also has a Trick of the Year nomination. Big surprise. I think we're picking up a trend here. Hunter's got 2 Trick of the Year wins already, and if anything, with Trick of the Year going to Keegan this year, I think we go ahead and put Hunter right in our skitty worthy tier. What we have in Hunter is the holy trinity of a Newschooler skier. Good street. Along with that, I don't know a lot of skiers that are like half pipe skiers and hit street. That's a combo that I feel like is kind of out of place. You'd think like that's more up like a slope style skier's alley. And lastly, Hunter is, building jumps in the backcountry. I don't think we can call him a backcountry skier in the same regards as our 2 friends who are afraid of pavement here. It's also very excusable because of Owen's work in the background here. The Magma series that they're putting out, Magma Mondays, shit like that. It all explains how busy these guys' fucking lives are. You can't really say the same about Colby or Sammy. I don't know if, Quicksilver and Good Company want to take notes here, but I think that the more core community does appreciate the insight. Hunter also had that Dub Misty 9 where he landed like an absolute cat. I think that directly puts him in the skitty-worthy category. Other than that, not too many offenses out of Hunter. He had this front swap transfer, which was, safe to say, not the prettiest. Along with that, Hunter with this ABD, which is pretty easy to pick out, honestly. On to Keegan, who coincidentally dropped his part 12:30. His Instagram account came into being on the 22nd of December. I'm not implying that Keegan came out of the woodwork in order to win Newschoolers Skier of the Year. I don't think that Skier of the Year Newschoolers is important enough, but I might be wrong, especially when not too many people are paying attention in the same way that skateboarders pay attention. Even though we don't get too much backcountry out of Keegan, he still goes into the huge balls category. Dude is going bigger in urban than most people I know. Most people.
Where is my mosh pit?
Still really cool to see Trick of the Year go to this quad kink. I didn't count it. One of my homies actually counted it. It's like just under 50 stairs. I'm a fan of this pick because the last couple of years, Trick of the Year has gone to more backcountry, oh my god, so big type tricks. And I'm by no means saying that this isn't one of those tricks in terms of amplitude, but to see a street trick this big get Trick of the Year, I think is pretty damn cool. I do think his video was a little bit 5-gum commercial feeling.
How it feels to chew 5 gum. Peppermint that cools as you chew. New 5 gum. Stimulate your senses.
Along with 2 ABDs, and these ones are a little bit more unique, so they feel a little bit more like criminal offenses to me.
Where my baby at, not home. I heard her drops chrome. V12 on my lip.
If it's alright with you, hit me up so we can chill.
Shout out Andy Partridge. Regardless, I still think T-Fits is a better pick here. Dude was absolutely ripping the streets this year, and he also was not just coming out of the woodwork on December 30th to put his name in for this award. I don't know what kind of insider infiltration bullshit is going on here, but Level 1 and Newschoolers seem to be ushering Keegan in for this award a little bit too late for it to be not suspicious. It's making me raise my eyebrows here. I'm not sure how Joel got on this list, honestly. No disrespect to Joel. He's a great skier. And I'm really not sure how this one became a Trick of the Year nomination. I agree. It was a nuts fucking trick. What are we looking at? Like a 35 stair, 20, I don't know. Something like that. Rail, little curvy, kinky, not a spin on. Something really cool and unique. You could watch it 100 times before you get tired of it. I don't know if it's Trick of the Year. We've even got Mr. Alexander Hall defending this case. Craziest trick all year. It's tough, man. Maybe I'm missing something. Couple things that make Joel stand out were his clips this year at Unrealistic. Dude was ripping apart this crazy ass S-rail. And then safe to say everyone was destroying this knuckle at Kimbo this year. Joel standing out though. I don't know what the fuck is going on with this one. In my honest opinion though, this air to tap almost face slam from Joel is a little bit more deserved of Trick of the Year. Takes a lot of gusto out of you. Joel's my type of skier though. Clips like this, just sacrificing your body for a dope ass nollie clip. That said, Joel is still not quite Tucker Fitzsimmons. He's gonna fall into that where's my T-Fits category.
Where is my mosh pit?
I think the guy is getting close to a skitty nomination. I'd love to see a little bit more backcountry booter, backcountry lines type of things out of Joel. But he is a Newschoolers skier. Dude is out there for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Let's get to the ladies here. Female skier of the year, I think Annie is our most worthy of the nominees. Word on these streets is that 1,000 Skis doesn't sponsor anyone. If I can do that math correctly, Homegirl is shelling out dough for them red planks. If Annie wins Skier of the Year this year, I nominate we basically petition to have Hackle give her a pro model at the very least, give her a free pair of skis. Come on. Regardless, Annie gets my vote. She's out in them streets, and as you know by now, this is mostly a street skiing channel. Speaking of which, kind of hurts that both Rel and Dasha are not on this list. I feel like they're both contributing to skiing in a way that not many other people are and deserve a shout out. Next up here, TBL, Taylor Brooke Lundquist. She's still out in them streets and is an acceptable win in my book. I almost put Taylor up in this skiddy-worthy category, but along with A-Hall, has won it 2 times already. Gotta go in the predictable category. It's too predictable. This extends to both categories. I don't want to see Alex Hall as our skier of the year. I don't want to see Taylor as our skier of the year. I think they're both great skiers. I don't think that either of them need to win this award again. Let's hop to Maggie Voisin. I think Maggie is probably up near the skiddy-worthy category. She had a dope-ass segment in Crescendo as well as a good segment in TGR. I'm not going to buy a TGR film just to show it on this channel. I absolutely refuse to. Someone wants to send me a copy. Maggie's in the argument for the best backcountry skier out of this group. She probably is, but that being said, that's all we're seeing out of her. There's no street, and not that that really matters. We're not seeing any park clips out of Maggie. We're not seeing any competition results out of Maggie. Needless to say, I'm jealous. She's just spending all of her time in the backcountry. That sounds like an absolute fucking dream. Sorry, Maggie. Afraid of pavement. Moving on. Next up, Megan Oldham. I was kind of hoping Megan would take the Trick of the Year as well as the Skier of the Year this year. I think it'd be a pretty fitting combination, and also pretty dope to see a lady take that combination maybe for the first time. Megan, one of the only girls I know out here doing Kangs. Proper Kang too, look at that Japan. That said, Megan also falls into that kind of category where we're mostly seeing park and competition things from her. Really would like to see a little bit more backcountry, maybe some street clips. You can see she's got rails on lock, like super fed on that drop rail. Then switch lip onto that down. Not bad. Sadly, that puts Megan in our fear of pavement category as well. There's no street coming out of her. There's no backcountry coming out of her. Lastly, we've got Lisa Zimmerman here. Safe to say Lisa has the dopest fits out of all the ladies. Look at this. The bike helmet with the speed shades. Are you kidding me? Bike helmet, speed shades. Bike helmet, speed shades.
Bike helmet, speed shades.
Come on. Lisa falls into kind of a strange category where you can see how comfortable she is on skis and that, like, she definitely deserves to be in this conversation. I think her trick selection and her kind of showcase of style, things like that, all work really well. But I don't know if she's quite broken into that skier of the year tier that we're talking about here. Unfortunately, Lisa, that puts you in the fear of pavement category as well. There you have it, everyone. If we take T-Fits out, because I don't think he's actually going to be nominated, we've got Hunter and Annie coming in as my official picks this year. Hoping both of them get the exposure that they well deserve. All right, everyone. This has been fun. I'll catch you next time.
Where is my mosh pit?